Son of a bitch!
There's something inside. Yeah, there's something inside.
Guys, welcome back to the channel. It's a beautiful freaking Friday in Waco, Texas. Yes, I know it's been a while. It's been a little while since we talked, but it's been kind of a, I don't know, kind of just crazy random shit going down, you know? It's been kind of a crazy couple of weeks at work and random crazy Dodge Ram problems for so anyways, for the past couple of years, my wife and I, we have had like 85%, was that British? 85%, 85% of like all of our belongings, man, all of our material things have been in storage for, well, crap, over 2 years now. And in fact, it's been, man, but anyways, oh, by the way, I drank a Bang. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. And so we're off the walls. It was cotton candy too. It's one of my favorites. Yeah, so for a couple of years now, all our crap's been in storage. Well, it was, you know, I was working in Dallas for a year and a half, and so we had kept all our stuff in Canton, Texas, which is on I-20 in between Shreveport and Dallas, and that's far away from here now, right? And so anytime we needed stuff, which included different season clothes and things like that, right? Like summer comes around and winter comes around, you got to get your other wardrobes out because the Elk Ridge can only support so many clothes for all of us in the closet that we have in there. And so yeah, you know, there was all sorts of reasons here and there to have to visit storage, and we could previously only do it when we would be headed to Louisiana to see family or whatever, and that was just less than ideal, not very convenient at all. So finally, my good old fraternity brother Dave, who has always come in clutch for me for my entire adult life essentially, he agreed last weekend to help me move all of our crap from Canton, Texas to here in Waco. So I got a storage unit here in Waco, way bigger too, come to find out. It's only like 5 feet longer. I didn't expect it to be so much more spacious, but it really is, which is nice, you know. So what I did is, you know, I got a freaking Cummins dually, so I'm like, well, I'll just rent the biggest damn trailer there is. And so the biggest one you can get from U-Haul is it's a 12-foot long by 6-foot wide dual axle trailer. Its load carrying capacity is basically a ton. It's rated for 2,000 pounds. The trailer weight, I don't know, is somewhere around 1,000 pounds, plus or minus. I don't know. Anyways, long story short, so for 2 hours there and then 2 hours back, you know, we're pulling this trailer, and on the way there, you can't even feel the damn thing back there. It's, you know, it's empty. Even on the way back, it really wasn't that big of a deal, man. You know, 3,000 or so pounds for the Cummins platform is child's play. So here we are, man. I'm doing like 75 and 80. Got the freaking cruise set and whatnot. Just hauling ass down the interstate, pulling 3,000 pounds behind me. And everything was hunky-dory. Hunky-dory. I don't know that I've ever uttered the phrase hunky-dory in my entire freaking life. But there you go. You heard it here first, folks. Half Click Up just said hunky-dory. That, maybe we'll employ that again. It's kind of fun, hunky-dory. But, woo, here we go. So, we make it all the way back to Waco, and we are taking the exit off of I-35 to go to the storage unit, and bing! Check engine light comes on. Son of a bitch made it all the way there and all the way back, like 5 hours round trip with loading time and all that, and you know, damn check engine light decides to come on, getting off the freaking interstate. You know, at this point in my Dodge Ram ownership career, if you will. Excuse me. I really have become accustomed to the prospect of a check engine light. It's just kind of freaking part of it. And you know, some things you just reset, and when you know what the issue is, it's not worth the trouble. But other things, you know, it's a new code or a new couple of codes you've never seen before. Oh look, my B camera quit. Here, it's a red light. Let's fix that. Be right back. And just like that, we're back. We'll see if it'll record any longer than frickin' 5 minutes. And so anyways, you know, I wasn't panicking. I keep my scanner with me all the time. So I read the codes, and as you saw in the intro, 1751 and 1753, they're both manufacturer-specific transmission codes. So let me see if I can summarize this as quickly as possible. Back in the day, you know, back in the gap, there used to be a thing called a TV cable. Now that's a throttle valve cable. It's a physical cable, similar to like a clutch or a throttle cable on a motorcycle. And what this thing does is it was a physical connection from the throttle pedal in the vehicle to the transmission. You know, you can imagine how long those lasted. It took forever for them to wear out. And you know, here comes Chrysler, and they just had to screw up a good thing, man. For some reason, some jackass at Chrysler, probably some kind of freaking magician or some shit, he decides that we're going to do away with the physical throttle cable on Chrysler transmissions, and we're going to employ a motor, an electronically controlled motor called a throttle valve actuator. Now this silly little thing you'll see in a minute, and as a matter of fact, I am recording this video over a 2-day period because I'm not going to be able to mess with the stupid actuator thing until tomorrow. Anyways, you'll see that in a minute, but the stupid thing consists of 2 bolts and a power connector, and that's it. And it's mounted kind of high up on the side of the transmission, and I don't actually know if I'm going to be able to get to it. I've looked at different YouTube videos and such, and it seems to be achievable, and so we'll find out here shortly. I don't even know how feasible it is to try and record the process, but that's not for this recording right now anyways. That's for what's fixing to come up in a minute, which is, again, technically tomorrow from today. And so once you get this new actuator swapped on to the side of the transmission and plugged in, and there's a little motorized shaft that actually turns the actuator, and then a real bag. Yeah, don't wave then. it mimics the action of a physical cable, computer control and all that horse shit, fly-by-wire, if you will. And so after you get this thing mounted and installed, you have to turn the accessory key to on and let it sit for 30 seconds. And apparently what happens in that 30 seconds is that new actuator calibrates itself, and then you should be good to go. The codes should actually automatically clear. And I'll tell you something else, they better automatically clear, because I've already tried to manually clear them with my scanner, and apparently you can't do that. The recalibration has to occur in order for you to clear those codes. So anyways, that's the story, guys. Man, the Brazos is high, huh? They got all the dams are open on the lakes around here, Lake Whitney and Lake Waco. Anyways, I'm sorry. There's a state trooper coming up on the side of me, and he's pacing me. And that means what he's doing is he's running my plate to make sure I'm legit, because I was kind of speeding back there. But the thing about that is that the truck in front of me was speeding as well. So, I mean, I guess F him if he can't take a joke. I don't know. But he's running me. He's getting behind me now. So he's probably going to ponder pulling me over. And you know what? If he does pull me over, that'll be in the video too. But let's see if I can continue vlogging with the distraction of possibly being pulled over. Anyways, my plate is 100% legit. I am registered, legal, good to go, and I have insurance, so I don't really know what to tell the guy except, you know, the guy in front of me was speeding too. Officer. What was I talking about while this cop is just like staring me down? Oh, yeah. It's going to take me a minute to collect my thoughts, because I am constantly just watching this cop look me over. State trooper too, man. They tend to not jack around, you know. If he wants me, he'll come and get me. Oh, there's an ambulance behind me. Oh, that's what's going on. Holy crap, y'all. Maybe that distracted the state trooper. Anyways, yeah, that's what I was talking about. The actuator. It's a common wear part, come to find out. But the way I see it, 205,000 miles out of a stupid little electric motor. That's a pretty damn good lifespan. Anyways, guys, for the time being right now, I'm gonna go ahead and conclude this part of the video. It's probably way too long and drawn out anyways, and if I get pulled over, I promise that is going to be part of the video too. But otherwise, here we go to the actuator. Well, so here it is. Stupid thing. Pretty simple though. Just stab the shaft in there, rotate it towards the transmission case. It's held in by 2 1/2-inch bolts, and it's got an electrical connector, which I'll probably have to fight tooth and nail just to get disconnected from the trans. But I mean, as far as I know, it's the factory one that's in there, so I'm expecting to have to fight it to get it out. But so this one was 90 bucks. Mopar has a replacement which was 188, and I wasn't going to spend almost 200 bucks on this stupid thing if I didn't have to. And so this one apparently is a Chinese part as far as I can tell, but it's distributed by Auto Parts Direct to You, and they even interestingly have their own little stamp on the part. So I don't know what that means, but you see this little placard right here? On the factory piece that says Siemens VDO, and so the factory part is a Siemens part. So this is, I guess, a direct copy or whatever. But yeah, so if you can picture, let's say the side of the camper is the transmission, right? This shaft here, when you disconnect the 2 1/2-inch bolts, it'll pivot out, and then it'll give you room to disconnect the electrical connector, and then you unstab it from the trans, put the new one on, stab it down, pivot it towards the transmission case. Well, I'm sorry, stab it down, install the electrical connector, pivot it towards the transmission case, and stab your 2 1/2-inch bolts back in, and then go through the reprogramming, whatever you want to call it, steps, methodology, if you will. But and again, that consists of turning the key to on and waiting at least 30 seconds for this thing to supposedly recalibrate, and I guess then you can start the truck and the check engine light's gone. I don't know, we'll see. And also, I don't even know, oh, I got the light right here. Wrap it. Let me take the cap off. Oh, I don't even know if you guys are going to be able to see the guy. See, it's rocks, y'all. You see? See, it's rocks. Freaking difficult. Crap. Impossible. Look at this, I even forgot to put my gloves on already, man. Freaking the dirty, filthy Cummins, y'all. Even the trans pan is a little wet, and so I'm gonna have to get that looked at one of the trans shops in town. You know, this transmission was rebuilt like
a year and a half, 2 years ago, and that high pressure hard line right there, see how there's a drop of trans fluid on there? I think maybe that's where the little leak is stemming from. It doesn't leak on the ground though. The oil does, of course, Cummins, but the transmission doesn't actually leak fluid on the ground. Anyways, I'm wasting time, boys and girls. Let me see. See, this sucks, y'all. It's so tight in here, and it's a 4-wheel drive, so you have the transfer case shaft here. This is actually insulation, which I should be able to move out of my way. But stand by. I need to get a better angle to even try this. There, I got some light on the situation. That's the guy right there. And you see, I don't know if it'll focus, Siemens VDO is right there. Yeah, so this insulation, uh-oh, there goes my light. Crap. Right, so this insulation will pull out of the way, you see, and there's the guy. Oh, there is no easy way to do that with this shaft here, man. But, oh crap. Yeah, that's the guy right there. Well, so anyways, 2 1/2-inch bolts. Just pivot it out the way, unstem it. I'm not even gonna bother trying to film this crap, y'all. There's other YouTube videos that I actually referenced for this job. And so I guess when we come back it'll be a test drive, or when we come back it'll be the attempt at a reset of the codes, and we'll try a test drive and see if she shifts okay. But be back in a bit. Well, there you go, guys. Here's the original factory unit. It's a Siemens VDO. It was actually ridiculously easy to get out. The hardest part was, of course, like I said earlier, figuring out the electrical connector. There's a silly little tab you pull, and then there's a little trigger you press, and it pops right off. I was squeezing up at the root, you know, like GM connectors, but a little different. See here, wipe that off there. This one was made in Canada. And I think the Mopar ones are made in Germany. So I don't know. Anyways, here's the old one that apparently failed. The P1751 and 1753. I'm not entirely sure which one it is, but I think the 1753 actually indicates mechanical failure, which is a pretty good indicator that this piece of shit is failed. So, without further ado, let's go with that new. Well, it was just a slight challenge to get the bolts threaded back in there, man, but all in all, I guess it really was about a 10-minute job. Now I did what another YouTube mechanic did on YouTube, and what she did, yeah, pretty cool chick, she fixed this same problem for a customer on a Ram 2500, 5.9 liter Cummins. And she did the 30-second reset 3 times in a row for a total of 90 seconds, just to be sure. So I've done it 3 times, 30 seconds, at least 30 seconds each time, closer to a minute really, each time. And I guess it's the moment of truth, man. I'd like to think that it's recalibrated, you crank it back up, and the check engine light's gone because suddenly it has the correct voltage signal and whatnot. Anyways, moment of truth, y'all. If it's not cleared, I guess I'll try and clear it with my scanner. Got the old Syntec there, and if that doesn't work, I guess I'll be taking her into a trans shop just to get the codes cleared, just to verify that the new actuator I put on the transmission is indeed good. Anyways, let's just start the frickin' thing and find out. Alright, well the check engine light's still on, and we're not going to panic yet. because it might also take a little bit of drivability, or driving, you know, to get the code to turn off. Who knows, man? I guess one of the main tests we need to do is to see if it shifts correctly, and before we do that, I'll try and clear the codes and just see what happens. Anyways, yeah. Yes, I'll tell you what, one of the most noticeable characteristics of this 48RE transmission with these two actuator codes set is that first gear likes to shift out at 2,500 RPM. And so we'll see what it shifts out at now since we put a new actuator on. Yeah, see, it's still shifting out at first at like 2,500 or so RPM. So I don't know, man. I don't know if it'll just reset with time, or if I'm gonna have to go ahead and take this sucker into Trans Shop and see if they can reset it there. I don't know. I don't know. Son of a bitch!